welcome back to another morning word. Thanks for joining us this morning. For those new to this is where I share a couple minutes really to share from my own personal Bible study. Why? Because I really believe in what God says. It's because I come to give you life and life more abundantly. But he also showed us how he was going to do that. He says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And if we can think like God, okay, there is no valley that you can't come through, no mountaintop that you can't reach, because there is nothing that's impossible for God, which means that there is nothing that is impossible for you too. So let's really get into this so we can obviously grow in God's wisdom and have God's mindset. The one thing I'd say, please take notes and take massive action on what you're hearing today. If you don't take action, you'll never see the fruit of God's wisdom. Now, we're going to be reading from the book of Judges, okay, which is the seventh book of the Bible, and we're going to be reading from chapter 3, verse 15, and it reads this. Again the Israelites cried out to the Lord, and he gave them a deliverer, Ehud, a left-handed man, the son of Gera, the Benjamite. We're going to call this morning's word, God will choose you with your weaknesses. Now, to lead the people out of destruction, God would raise up leaders. Okay, so through this season, the Israelites have been conquered by other kingdoms and stuff like that because of their sinful ways, but they would cry out for mercy, and God would raise up leaders to be able to take them out and lead them back onto the path of success and of freedom. Now, it's so easy when picking leaders, you think, oh, the good-looking guy, the super intelligent guy, the gregarious, charismatic guy. Well, God doesn't always choose those things. Yes, they can be important, but God chooses things that sometimes people go, him with his weakness, or him over there with that problem, or that person who stutters, or that person who's had a terrible past, or that person who used to do things that there's no way. And God says, listen, I'm going to choose them even with their weaknesses, or even with the things that you think are obstacles. Because guess what? When God chooses somebody, he knows their true potential. Not what everybody else sees. He sees their true potential. And sometimes some of you are looking at your own life going, God couldn't use me. You know, I can't read well, or I stutter, or I'm shy, or I'm not as gifted as my friend over there, or my IQ is low, and this, and I come from a poor background, or whatever it may be, and you're having all these things with all the weaknesses that will stop you from being great. I want to show you something. God will use you and choose you with your weaknesses to glorify his name. I'm truly saying that to you. God can use you even with your weaknesses. So it doesn't matter if you're not strong enough, if you're not clever enough, if you're not bright enough, if you're not strong. It doesn't matter. God says he will use you, okay, to fulfill his purpose, okay? And you have that ability because God sees something in you that you may not even see, or even those around you can see. He sees your greatness. So here's a question in the morning. Are you thinking that you cannot be used because of a weakness? Are you thinking that you cannot be used because of a weakness? Here's the lesson of the day. Do not allow so-called weaknesses to deter you from your destiny. God uses your weaknesses to become your greatest strength. God will use the very fact that you have your weaknesses as your greatest strength. Now, what you need to do is focus on what you're good at and what you can do, and then let God do the rest. So yeah, you got these weaknesses, but let God deal with that. Let God deal with your weaknesses. Don't you worry about it. You just do what you can do. And that really leads us to the action of the day. The action of the day is this. Refuse to let your weaknesses stop you from being great. Your weaknesses can't stop you from being great. You can. And if you're going to remove that blockage of you being that blockage to your success, weakness can't hold you down. So go out there and smash it. Be everything that you were called to be, because God sees greatness in you. So as we always say with Gen Hope, God's gift to us is life. What we do with that life is our gift back to God. God bless you, and see you soon for another morning word.